All right. What's up, everybody? It's Dave's R&R. We're back. Hopefully, we can get a little more consistent this time around, but I had to jump on. I had to give my quick review and thoughts on season 2 of the HBO's hit, The White Lotus. Been keeping up this week after week. One of my favorite shows that's on any sort of streaming platform right now. I highly recommend this one to anybody out there. It's season 1 was great, season 2 was great as well. It just wrapped up last night, so we're going to get into that. It's going to be a super spoilery podcast here. I'm going to give all my thoughts on all the different characters, how the show ended and everything. So, if you haven't seen it and you care about spoilers, stop right now because we're about to get into it. So we just got episode 7 of White Lotus last night, the final one for season 2. Season 3 is already confirmed, but as we know from season 1, they don't necessarily carry over all the characters from season to season. And the big question is, who will they carry over into season 3? Because I think the big headline news from season 2 was our beloved Tanya from season 1 died in this season. She is one person that not a lot of people expected to die. She was the one who carried it from season 1. She was signed on for season 3, so people thought she was a lock-in to survive given her circumstances of the season. But she ends up shooting everyone that was essentially holding her hostage, and then in the most Tanya way possible of dying. I think that's the only thing that saves it here, is that she tried to jump off the big yacht that she was on onto a smaller boat. She didn't even take off her heels or anything and tripped over the boat, hit her head, and drowned. So that was the end of probably the most popular character in White Lotus in both seasons. She was crazy. She was great. Just amazing all around. Jennifer Coolidge should get Oscar nominations for her role this past season. I hope she even gets the award this year because it was a great job done. So the fact that she signed on for season 3, though, it makes you wonder if they're going to bring her back as like a spirit or ghost that haunts Greg. Because we found out throughout the season Greg left Sicily, and it was clear that he was part of the whole plan to kill Tanya off so he could get all of her money. So I definitely think we're going to see Greg in season 3 again, and I hope he gets his justice. I think everyone out there's hoping for it. So that's the big thing for season 3. Who I don't think we'll see in season 3 is the family with Albie, his father, and his grandfather. The grandfather's story kind of wrapped up. And with Albie and his father giving Albie the 50K for the hooker, and everyone knew Albie was getting played besides himself. His dad even knew he was getting played, but they're so rich that 50K was essentially to get back in his mother's good graces. And I think it wrapped up kind of in a way of season 1 did, where no matter what events happen, all the top echelon, the rich folk, they stay the same because we see that attractive woman walk by the family in the airport. All 3 guys turn their heads simultaneously. Albie's kind of just shrugging off getting played for 50,000. So I think their stories are completely wrapped up here. Albie's final scene was with Portia, and I guess that would kind of tie into Tanya since Portia's was her assistant. Will Portia come back at all in season 3 to kind of seek revenge for Tanya? I don't think so. She wasn't a big fan of Tanya to start with. When she kind of realized her boss died, she kind of just shrugged it off and asked for Albie's number. And that's a big reason I don't think we'll see her in season 3. She's just gone, she made a lot of stupid decisions during the season. I just think she's just going goodbye now. That's it for her story as well. I do think one of the more interesting things that we could see here is the 2 couples coming back for season 3. It's going to be Daphne and her husband Cameron, and then Heather and her husband Ethan. We kind of saw in this season as it progressed, originally it looked like Cameron and Daphne were so perfect, but they had stuff they were hiding. And slowly but surely it all came out throughout the season. And then Ethan and Harper, who are the more newlywed couple, they kind of seemed to have it together besides the physical attraction part. They fell kind of more apart as the season went on, and we found out that Daphne and Cameron kind of get off on the infidelity of it. And that's essentially what happened to Harper and Ethan. And I just love the parallel there, how they thought everything was wrong with Daphne and Cameron, and by the end, they essentially turned into them. We saw Harper say that she kissed Cameron, who, there's the big debate whether she did more or not. That's something we'll probably never personally know unless they bring him back. And then they had Daphne take Ethan away to the private part of the island, which it's all but implied that they cheated on their spouses there. So it was a great parallel this season how they went there, they wanted to prove how bad of a couple they were, and then they ended up doing the exact same thing. So it's awesome how they just completely showed that this season. But they did tease it. Cameron said next time let's go to the Maldives, and it is a potential spot for season 3. So that's why I think that they could potentially come back. Maybe at least just Cameron and Daphne. Would Aubrey Plaza come back for season 3 as Harper? Would Ethan come back? That's the big question. But I think they're the second best bet for a comeback next season. So kind of my overall thoughts on this season, I do actually think it was an improvement from season 1. I do like how it was a little bit longer than the first season. The highs of the season were a lot higher. It seemed like the stakes were a little higher this season. The only thing that was a big complaint in my eyes about season 2 compared to season 1, I really missed the small interactions between the different couples and families that the show is focused on. We saw a good amount of that in season 1, which kind of tied in those stories a little better together. I feel like they went a lot separate from that this season, so I do hope that's something they bring back for season 3, and I hope we get that season 3 as soon as possible. Overall, my final rating for White Lotus season 2, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's super great TV. It missed without those connections. I do think it's an improvement from season 1, which I would say is an 8 out of 10. But it's still one of the best shows on TV at this moment. So definitely give it a watch if you have the chance. And it's got rewatchability too, so I'm probably going to go back and watch the seasons myself before the eventual season 3. It's going to be up for a lot of awards this year, so definitely look for that. And that's all I've got for the White Lotus season 2 today. Just some ending thoughts on the characters there. R.I.P. Tanya. Thank you, Jennifer Coolidge, for doing an amazing job with one of the zaniest characters we've seen on TV in a while. She was definitely a fan favorite and will be missed if she actually doesn't come back for season 3. But there it is, White Lotus season 2, 8.5 out of 10. And we're going to try to keep it rolling. I know I keep getting off track. Hopefully with the new year coming, hopefully with life settling down a little bit, I can get some more consistency in my recording. We'll have some more episodes coming out in December for sure. Like, subscribe, download, review, follow Dave's R&R on Twitter and Instagram. I've got a few interesting things I'm going to try on there coming up, so definitely follow because I like reviewing stuff, and I think I want to dive more into that going forward in social media as well. So just stay tuned. Everyone stay safe. Have a great holiday season. Check out White Lotus Season 2.